To Council of Comics, it's January 28th, 2024. It's the film and box office news live podcast with the Council of Comics. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 72. We're going over Back to the Future Part 2. And we got Papa Willie in the house. Let's roll.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, where we go over all the film, all the box office news, and we also discuss one great movie every week. This week, it's Back to the Future Part 2 in our 2024 year of trilogies. Look at Phil showing that laser disc over there. Nice little laser disc. Of course, as always, the loyal council, Phil, Cliff, Green Shirt Guy, and special guest, Papa Willie in the house. How you guys doing today?
Very good.
Excellent. Pretty good, pretty good.
Despite the weather and what it's trying to do to me.
I wish
Excellent.
Baltimore was winning right now, personally, but
I also wish they were winning.
What's the score?
17-7.
What's the quarter?
Third. They just started third.
I have a theory, and if Baltimore wins, I will destroy all of the NFL.
Is it that colors? Is that color nonsense?
More than that, my friend, I got screenshots. I got screenshots. All right.
Is that color nonsense? They had about 4 different.
Oh, the screenshots with the color will turn you to the WWE, my friend. It will turn you to the
I'm telling you, if it's that color
WWE.
nonsense, they had about 4 of them.
It's part of it.
And the final one was the number 1 seats. So.
It's
Whatever.
part of it. Let's just say they slipped up and put something on the TV they didn't think anybody was going to
Oh,
record.
I've seen about 4 of those. There's one where Buffalo wins.
Oh, you've seen about 4 of those. I don't see any screenshots of the Buffalo one.
I'll find it for you.
You show it to me, and then I will dissipate my theory. I will destroy my theory. I will burn it like an effigy.
It's the same one. I've seen 2
We're
or
all
3
about
it's the same
receipts
weather
here at the
forecast.
Council of Comics. If you don't got receipts, don't bring it in the
I'll
store.
find it for you. I'll send it to you right now. Let's get find it.
Oh, shout out to everybody who's watching football. In the comments, we have Las Cruces 1971. Thank you for joining us as always. The comic book G-Man is in the house. Larry is in the house. What's good? Nice. All right. Boom. Let's just get to quickly the things we do as we do. Wait, I gotta get that out of there. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Go ahead,
That's
put that up, Cliff. I didn't mean to do that.
What was Papa saying?
He says,
Casey the Lions.
It's Eminem versus Taylor Swift.
Yo, that would be the halftime show. That would be the halftime show.
No. The joke's gone too far. Stop it. That's enough.
No, I don't care. Like if
The
I
joke has gone
honestly,
too far.
I would love.
No.
No, I want to see.
I don't want to see Eminem anymore, Cliff.
Why don't
I'm
you want
done
to see
seeing
perform?
Eminem.
What's wrong with you?
It'd be
Oh my God,
funnier
So done.
if she was doing the halftime show and she got interrupted by Kanye. I'll
No,
let you finish your halftime show, but
I would rather see Eminem and Taylor Swift together. I would find that fascinating.
You know what I'd rather see? I'd rather see some new artists that are good that nobody knows about so they can get exposure.
not gonna
Instead
happen.
of seeing these 20, 30-year-old in the industry people keep doing the same thing over and over.
Here's the thing.
over
Here's why
and
you'll
over
never
and
see-
over and over.
Here's why you'll never see that. because who pays to be part to do the
Well,
halftime show?
The
Are people
Weekend
gonna
was
stop
pretty
watching
recent.
this
And
movie?
he's
Not
pretty
the
new,
NFL.
right? Like the
It's
Weekend's
not the
pretty
NFL.
new.
The artist pays to do
The
the
Weeknd's
halftime.
he's not that new. He's got time in the game. But I mean like up and coming thing. And that's not gonna stop people from watching the Super Bowl.
It's not going to happen because artist pays to do the halftime show. The NFL doesn't pay them.
It's even worse. It's even worse. Oh my God. All right. Let me start off with these things here. Young and Heart Foundation is it's an organization owned and run by our good friend Mike out in California. They specialize in helping out the kids that are awaiting medical procedures. You can help Mike in the organization by one of two things. You can become a donor by going to the website youngandheartfoundation.com and registering to become a donor. More than 100,000 people are waiting for a life-saving transplant, and you can help by registering as an organ donor. A second way you can help is by sponsoring a Hope Kit that is 100% tax deductible. And they take all the funds and they create these nice little gift boxes to give to the kids, and also the funds sometimes go to getting guests there to meet the kids and greet them as well. If you want to get in touch with Mike, give him a call at 323-396-9998 or email him at info@youngandheartfoundation.com. Let him know that the council sent you. Next up, Alternaverse. Oh, it's the private chat. You can't see the private chat. You can never see the private chat. Alternaverse is our home away from home out in Hyde Park, New York. It's located at 870 Violet Avenue. It's run by our good friend Anthony, one of the best guys in the industry. They specialize in comics, cars, and toys. They have the Hudson Valley's best selection of comics, and they bag and board every single comic book. So if you want to get 10% off of a pull list by starting it with them, you can get in touch with Anthony at 845-233-4234 or email him at alternaverse2@aol.com, and the website is alternaverse.net. They also do card tournaments every weekend, Pokemon, Lorcana, Magic, and so forth. They're always getting in the new sets in and all that. So give a call to Anthony and he'll give you a schedule for those events. Next up, this is our channel. It's the Council of Comics. We got 758 subscribers. We're going to be doing our 750th giveaway. We got to collect a little more things, but I'll show you what we got so far. How about this? First appearance of Jubilee. We chose the 9-2. Very nice, very nice. This will be part of the giveaway, but we're going to add some more things. We'll let you know when that live happens. And that'll be a one-time live on there. We'll probably do like multiple duck things in there and then give away at the end of the night. But make sure you liking and subscribing to our channel. Where Are the Heroes? The song that many of you have been calling for is our intro song. Is now on YouTube with a full video. And YouTube didn't block it. They didn't strike it. They didn't do anything. I followed all the rules correctly. And so it's a nice video for you to check out with the song. And the song is also streaming on Spotify and Apple Music if you want to use those services. We also have new Comic Book Day. Episode 83 is up. I did a little review. Comic Capsule sent me some stuff. I did a review. It's a pretty decent product. I like it. It's like that midway point between having it raw and then getting it slabbed. It's a nice little thing to put in your collection. We also have lives. Cliff's got his crazy dope Cliff's Crisis Quest. Gets better and better every single week. Cliff, you gotta let me know when there's opening spots because I want to jump into the Crisis Quest. I want to do it. You're muted. You are muted, Cliff.
February's still open, so there you guys have it.
What's the day?
I am torn between sticking to Tuesday versus Thursday because of people's availability. So
I can only do Thursday. So if you do Thursday, let me know.
All right, I'll try to wrangle a Thursday night February crew.
Excellent. So that's our channel. Make sure you please like and subscribe to the channel. We also have Papa Willie in the house, and this is his channel. He's got 969. He is only 31 away from the big 1G. Let's go. If you are in the comments, go to his channel, like and subscribe to his channel. He's got tons of videos on there.
And a live wrestling show.
Live wrestling shows, like,
yep.
He's on point. So give a subscribe. Let's hit this here. Boom. It goes just like that. Now the council is subscribed. I like doing that on air because it looks pretty cool. All right. So please like and subscribe to Papa Willie's channel as well. All right. Boom. Showtime.
Big lion cat in the house, Patrick.
Oh, you want the comments? Let's go to the comments. See who else. Let me see. Kamaria is in the house. What's good, Kamaria, mom? Cali Comics is in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Trev the Shipping Guru is in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight. Kenneth Bird is in the house. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Prayers for
Big
Cam.
Lion
Tomorrow
Cat.
is it. Tomorrow's supposed to be the surgery or the procedure.
Oh, all right. We got you in our prayers, Kenneth Bird. We got you in our prayers. Big Lion Cat 646 also in the house. All right. So before we get into the box office news part, I figure I just pull up like some news and I'll go through headlines and just stop and see if you want to like talk about any of it. We don't have to spend too much time, but we are filming box office news, so we should be doing some news. All right. Chat GPT can name that childhood? Anybody? No? How about just Daisy Ridley says new Star Wars ...
Nah.
Are we at that point with Star Wars now?
Just to like avoid, like, you know, say it's made for you to click on it, like headline like that.
Yeah, I'm
not
like,
wrong.
if it had something meaty to it.
How do we know? We have to click on it and take a risk.
Nah.
We don't even want to take the risk.
Oh no,
It's not the risk.
Wow.
I think it's going to be worth our time.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. The rest of that statement is she thinks the movie is cool as shit. That's it.
Yes,
that's
the
the big
best
news.
statement.
oh okay.
Breaking news.
And if she wasn't going to be happy with the script, she would have told them to come back in 5 years, as it goes. All right, I'll keep going. Oppenheimer's critic says movies. Any takers? No.
Oh, I mean it's up for Best Picture. I mean,
Yeah.
imagine what else. Oppenheimer
this
is
one-
past what critics think about it right now.
You're not
Right.
wrong.
Facts. All right, this one I want to. All right, I pulled this
No.
one up too. Zoe
Why?
Kravitz posts adorable snapshot. The reason why I want to talk about this is, what does the audience consider adorable?
I'll give you
What
that.
what
'Cause
do
I
we
don't look at that and
consider
go, "Oh, that's
adorable?
cute."
So as I looked, and it says post adorable snapshot with Channing Tatum to celebrate. Okay, adorable is the key word here, ladies and gentlemen. Adorable.
Nothing
Is
about
this
that screen
adorable?
protector. Oh,
Is
No.
this adorable?
No,
That
it's
looks
humorous. It's a humorous photo.
it looks.
Why
like
is it humorous?
Well, because I don't think she's being serious, right? Like, this could go
Yeah.
sexual or humorous. It goes humorous because this doesn't look. It doesn't look like it's genuinely
It
sexual.
looks like Chip Hanks got hacked on his Instagram. That's what it looks like.
You know what's
I don't
funny
really
is look
care.
at the description. Post that Kravitz and Tatum pose for cute Polaroid moment. Like, the word "cute" is.
I mean, it's like a Polaroid, no less. It's really
Yeah, like what are we doing here? Like, I can't, I don't care about the picture. Couples do that all the time. But just the fact the words that we use today, that's not adorable. Because if
Well,
you
dude,
adorable,
first of all, let's not be so judgy about headlines.
why
when
is it gotta
none
be
of them-
judgy, Cliff?
You
Why can't you
judgy
just take my
because
opinion
they're
on it?
terrible.
Why is it gotta be
we all know
judgy?
They're terrible. We all know they're terrible. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be judgy. It's like people are just trying to do their job and take home a paycheck and support themselves and/or their family. Like, I get it.
Then don't
You know,
post this
the
crap.
most
'cause we don't
adorable
need to
part
see
of
it.
it is it was a
I'm pretty
Polaroid
sure some
camera.
soldiers in Germany did the same thing, Cliff. They were just trying to get paid. You know what I mean? Feed their family.
They were.
I'm
They
pretty
even
sure.
went on cigarette breaks. But the point is, they were wrong.
Wow.
They were wrong.
Cliff, don't get our channel canceled, okay? Don't
Yo,
do it.
I'm just saying, they
Don't
were.
do it.
This, no one's getting hurt because of this.
I didn't
that
say anyone was
really
getting hurt. I
awful.
just thought it was interesting, something to talk about. It caught me because I went and looked.
It's-
I was like,
it's
oh,
the bottom of
adorable.
the
Let me look.
barrel
I was
of
like,
interesting.
that's not adorable. But
No, it's definitely
shout
not
out to-
adorable.
Shout out to Zoe and Channing. Brad Pitt at Rolex 24 to film scenes.
No, next Brad Pitt.
Oh my God, Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem
Yes.
showed off
Yeah.
there. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Big ups for Brad Pitt and Javier Bardem, huh?
That's right. A Formula One racing movie.
Brad Pitt and
Woo!
Javier Bardem show off sleek style on the set of their new F1 racing movie. Is that a sleek style? I'm sorry, I'm missing things.
Javier's is. I don't know what Brad is doing, but Javier's is.
Javier's is.
Yeah,
I think like
Javier's.
I think Brad Pitt could pull off like sleek style, like no matter what he wears. So, like,
Right?
he's just from Brad
No matter
Pitt.
what
I
he
wake
wears.
up.
He's pretty. Yeah, I wear whatever I want.
That's very funny. Aggressively relaxing in the house. What's good? Thank you for joining us. Yes, what an adorable picture. I know. All right. That's all we want to see on that one, right? All right. Boom. My sister tricked our family into blah blah. No interest.
I
Nope.
imagine my
Business
sister-
Insider. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Business Insider. You're right. It's Business Insider. All right. Palos Heights natives. ... Screenwriter Daniel Kuka, who was raised in. No, right? No. IMSA President John Doonan. You got any NASCAR fans in here?
Not that much.
What? How is
No.
any of this movie news?
I don't know. It
Because
says
that
movie.
Formula One
And we're
movie is
using
happening.
Bing, everyone. For all you haters out there, like, why aren't you using Google?
Bing
We're
sucks.
using Bing because we're going against the system, bro.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That's
too
why
often.
we're not getting anything.
I'm like, it's cute. You want to try and use Bing, but like the results are just not great.
The results are the same. What are you
They're
talking
not. They're
about?
No,
not
they're
the
not.
same. These
Yes,
are
they
fine.
are.
No, they're not.
They're
Oh,
really
okay,
not.
then let's-
And I don't like.
let's
I don't
do-
like the short. I don't like the
All right.
short
All right.
intros.
We're gonna see what comes up with Google.
But you're
Do I even
using.
have Google?
Are you which
I don't even have it on here.
which browser
should
are you
have.
using to pull that up? Not which
I don't know.
search engine, which browser? Because I promise you, if you're using Bing as opposed to Google Chrome, if you open Chrome and do it, you're gonna get different
Well,
ones.
Well, you know what? I don't have time for
See
all
what I'm
that. We're
saying?
using
Like you
Bing.
have to use a different.
We're
browser.
using Bing. Yeah, we're not
Bing
gonna go to that.
sucks.
We're using Bing.
That's why
We're using-
nobody uses it.
All right, I think that's done. They've showed me that Bing is just not the place to go. Time to join in to the box office news. Dun, 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 dun. This
I
week,
went to see a movie. I think it's in the top 10. It's number 9.
oh, you
Woo!
saw it
Oh
again?
yeah.
Yeah, I went to because it was Godzilla -1 minus color came out, and I took my
Where?
mom and my sister to Godzilla.
Where'd you see it?
Nice.
The Regal in
Oh,
Poughkeepsie.
okay.
Was it regular or was it black and white?
You know, it was the black and white. Yeah, it was minus color. So
Mm.
and they actually they didn't really just like take the color out of the movie. They actually took their time to make it black and white.
So
make
it's
it
like-
not look good.
It's like Fury
Oh.
Road. Did you see Fury Road when they did the black and white cut?
I haven't seen. I know they did it. I've seen that. I know
It's
they've done it with
amazing.
a few other.
It
movies.
really is amazing.
I
So,
just
yeah, it
watched
was like
Fury
that.
Road the other week. Fury Road is a great movie. Not enough Mad Max for me, but it's still a great movie.
It's a great movie. That's my description of that movie, and I can't remember. I probably stole it from somebody. Is somebody comes in and grabs you around the collar and just shakes you for an hour and a half, because that's what it is. There's no point in that movie that it slows down,
Yeah, like can you imagine filming that movie?
right?
Like the cars are always going.
Yes.
Wild. All right, number 1, the Beekeeper, Jason Statham, is doing
Anthony
his
loved
thing.
it.
He's doing. Let's see what he's at. Let's see where he's at because he's becoming one of the faves now. Because he's putting in work.
The funny
104,
part is
not bad.
he
104.
didn't start off this way. He became an action star in the way that Liam Neeson kind of did, where people are like, "Oh, you're an action star now." He's like, "Am I? All right, I guess."
Yeah, I've always seen him as an action star though.
Yeah, but he did a bunch of Guy Ritchie movies where they were not action movies, but he's like a gritty gangster, and all of a sudden now he's an action star before he'd actually really done an action movie.
Hey, listen. You go to Jason Statham and say, "Listen, we'll give you 25 million.
Oh,
make
I'm
me a
not-
movie.
I-
It
I'm
makes
not
it makes
saying he made the
200
wrong
million
decision.
is profit. You're gonna be seeing Jason Statham movies forever."
I'm not saying he made the wrong decision. I'm just saying it's funny that he was labeled an action star before he was actually an action star.
Mm. Okay.
It'd be like,
me-
this is the next up and coming actor and actress in drama movies, and all they've done to that point is buddy comedies.
True. Mean Girls dropped to number 2.
Yeah.
Anybody here see Mean Girls?
I saw the original. That's all I need to see.
Yeah, I saw the original, not the new one yet. But
Cliff, have you seen
I like
it?
Tina Fey, and I kind of do.
I've seen the show. I've seen the original movie. I haven't seen this movie.
Okay. All
But
right.
it's probably
Papa
going to
Will,
be a
you seen
wait
it?
until like a streaming thing or something. I'm probably not gonna see Mean Girls.
All right, number 3, we got Wonka. Dropped 12%. Wonka's carried. What has Wonka got, man? What is Wonka doing? Wonka's at 552.
Hey, man. Good for them.
Yeah.
Now, what we want to take? That's when they take it out of theaters.
I don't
Is it
think they're
still
gonna
in
take it out
theaters
for a while.
Is it still in theaters for Valentine's Day?
It probably will be, yes.
Okay.
Kamaria is very disappointed in us for not watching Mean Girls.
That's
Very,
okay, Kamari. I'm
very-
disappointed in my life.
Come on, Cliff.
What are we doing?
Jeez.
I'm
What are
not
we
that
doing here?
disappointed. I went to
We
see
come here
Godzilla.
to get away from our lives, Cliff. We come in here to get away. Here you
No.
go, pulling it back in. Jeez. But yeah, Wonka should have a sequel. I think they've announced something that they're working on it too.
No, if they made 500 million, absolutely.
It only dropped 12%. This thing is
Yeah.
rocking.
You got the Wonka trilogy
Well,
right there
and that-
coming.
Forget that it dropped 12%. It's still in 3,000 theaters.
Papa's got a full want list. He wants to see Mean Girls, Aquaman 2, and Godzilla.
Gressler says Wonka is still in theaters and it's so much better than it has any right to be.
That is true.
Okay.
Is it better than the original?
I think it's different from what I understand. Like
It's very different, but it's very good. It's like it's one of those things where like, this might be okay, and they're like, oh wow, that was like way better than I was expecting.
right. And I heard the music's great in it too.
The music's very good. Do be prepared that you're going to be in for some musical numbers.
Yeah, but if you watch the first one was musical as well.
Yeah. It's a great musical. It's one of the greatest musicals
It's
ever.
it's not a musical in the sense that they're talking and then they just burst into song, but there's music in the first one laced through the entire first one.
Yeah, this is along those lines.
Okay.
I
mean,
don't
the
want to
first
give anything
one-
away. Just like
the first one has more than 5 songs. It's fluttered with songs. The first one.
Oh no, what I'm saying is it's not a musical like you typically see, like a musical where going about my day and then I just start singing about my day for no reason. There's music in it. There's songs in it. There's littered. It's not.
Kamara
it's
says
not-
it best. It's not a musical, but it is a musical.
Thank you. Well, that's what I said.
K-pop junkie is in the house. What's good? I didn't even see that. Thank you for joining us. All right. Let's see here. Migration coming in at number 4. Only dropped 5%, and they're over 100 domestic. That's pretty good. Anyone But You dropped 11%. Poor Things is up 43%.
Well,
And-
it's getting that Oscar
And it's gone
buzz.
up in 900 theaters.
It's got that Oscar buzz.
Yeah, American Fiction is up 65%. That is a novelist who's fed up with the establishment profiting from black entertainment uses a pen name to write a book that propels him into the heart of hypocrisy and madness he claims to disdain.
Interesting.
Very
that
interesting.
happened to Tony Kushner with Angels in America. Where it was like he himself is like very anti-capitalist, and then like he received all the acclaim that a capitalist society can provide you with because his show was so successful.
Aquaman still hanging around, man. At number 8, only dropped 22%.
And Aquaman apparently is one of the most successful DCEU standalone films.
Well, that doesn't take much.
The second one,
It might be. Hold on,
the
let's see.
first one is the most made the most money of any DC movie.
Right, all together. But I don't know. The article I saw on it is very misleading because Aquaman is at 412.7 million so far worldwide.
Yeah.
Right, but then it shows. Right, it doesn't show me the first Aquaman.
First Aquaman made over $1 billion.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah,
only-
the one that is second to this for where it's at in the moment is
Listen,
Black Adam at 390.
for all it's fought against, I got to give Aquaman and Lost Kingdom its props. The fact that it made it to $412 million is amazing to me in the environment that it's in. So I can't wait till it hits
How much of
streaming.
that is domestic though?
They did 110 domestic.
So most of
118.
that is worldwide then.
Yeah,
There you go.
Aquaman's big worldwide. He's big, but just consider the last DC films. Like this is, it did its thing. It went out strong. I'll give it that. Godzilla -1 back in theaters. It's -1, but they consider it the black and white version. They do them together, right?
Right, they're not putting -1 there's two minuses, -1 I think minus color, whatever, but the point is it's still different than the original release, so that's pretty interesting. It's got different camera angles. They really took their time.
Really?
White? Yeah.
Huh.
Phil, did you notice the different camera angles or no?
I really did not notice any like real different camera angles or anything like that.
It's very specific scenes, like when Godzilla released that blast, right?
Okay.
And it shows different shots of the shockwave that you weren't in the original.
Okay. Yeah, I
But
didn't
yeah,
really notice too much.
I don't know what all of them are, but they're littered throughout the film.
Cliff, does Wonka
was,
musical beat The Greatest Showman? Like,
Ooh, I like.
Oh hell no!
no.
Great Showman's a
Huh?
great movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure about
My
that?
family
don't
loved,
don't pit me
upstairs,
against
they
some
loved
guy.
The Greatest Showman.
We watched that just after Christmas. I think it was on TV or something. We watched it again.
I have never seen The Greatest Showman.
Oh,
Okay,
the
okay,
music in it.
okay. All
It's
right,
amazing.
where's Kamaria? Kamaria needs to grab you and watch The Greatest Showman immediately.
That should be extremely disappointing. Like,
That is
I mean,
extremely disappointing. Extremely.
For her defense, she doesn't know that I've never watched The Greatest Showman. So, it is what it is. It doesn't mean I don't want to see it. Doesn't mean I don't
Well,
want
it's
to
too
see
late
it.
now. You are going to see it. will be
Aggressively
after you.
Relaxing says Aquaman was incredible. They need to do a third. I want to time travel and show the Aquaman movies to the 1930s audience to watch them freak out.
Kamara's like, this is
Literally.
news to me too.
Yeah, I know. I guess we were watching next weekend.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
But I like Hugh. Hugh's
You
cool.
will love Hugh. He's great.
How will I love you when I love me? I love you. Okay. Anyway, the joke is done. The Boys in the Boats, number 10. Night Swim, number 11. Origin, 12. ISS. The Iron Claw. The Zone of Interest. Oppenheimer. The Boy in the Haran. The Holdovers. Book of Clarence. The Color Purple. All of Us Strangers. Trolls Band Together. I like looking at the bottom one. Who's the one? Radical.
How? Oh, hold
4,000.
on. How close to $1 billion is Oppenheimer at this point?
Is who?
Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer got re-released this week. A lot of these like movies that you see with like these big pluses, like Killers of the Flower Moon, they all got re-released at the Oscar buzz.
It's
Oh,
not.
it's like,
It's
I
at
don't think
954.
it's gonna get
It's got to get
I don't
like
think it's gonna get
46
there.
million, and that's not happening.
there. Unless
You
they
know
leave it-
he's like salivating to make that stretch to $1
I
billion.
know, but why
Well, unless they leave
why
it
can't you be happy
out.
with 954 though?
Hold on. If it wins Best Picture, which my pick is I think it will. I think they leave it out after and it crosses $1 billion. Then
40 when everybody has gone to see it 2 or 3 times. 46 million is a lot of ground to make up.
I still know a lot of people who have not gone to see
I
it.
haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
maybe-
2
maybe-
right here.
Well,
So
there
like,
you
there
go.
you
Out
go.
of 5 of us, right?
It's 2. That's $30. Okay, we're looking for 46
Right, but
million.
if-
here.
I'm just saying.
If
Dude,
that many
if-
people still haven't seen it though.
Right. If
True.
if 3
true.
out of
What did
every
it-
5 people haven't seen it, that's pretty great.
What
Of
did it
course,
make this weekend?
It made almost $1
Um,
million this weekend. It was like
Oh, all
999.
right. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, that's
Yeah,
a big
almost
jump
Well,
for.
listen, okay, let's say it did $1 million, right? It jumped over about 300%. It would have to do $1 million for the next 6 months every weekend.
Well, that's assuming it only makes $1 million. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying.
you
If
would
it
think-
stays in theaters and it wins the Oscar, there will be a jump after the Oscars.
All right, let's see.
That's
Let's
my
see.
that's my call. And I'll probably
That's-
be wrong.
Let's see. Very nice. There is one more thing. Did you guys? I heard. We're talk some news quick. John Boyega. I don't have anything to put up there, but he was signed to do the Book of Eli prequel series. What do you guys think about that?
No interest.
No interest.
I mean, I think it's cool for
The
him.
movie was
I think
okay.
it'll be good. I think it'll be cool
I like
for him.
Book of Eli.
It was okay.
The movie's
It was
supposed to
great.
take place 30 years before Book of Eli, and it's supposed to, well, not movie, TV show, and it's supposed to go over the nuclear event that happened, and his training of becoming how he got real good with training, and how he came into the book, the Bible that he has, the last Bible in the world.
Well, now, so is he blind at the beginning? Or does he go blind?
They're gonna explain that in the show. That's what they're gonna explain. Listen, I like John Boyega. You know what I mean?
I do too.
He needs to come back and do some stuff. Not Star Wars right now. Just come back and do some stuff. And then when people start to like you again, then you can come back in Star Wars.
He's done some stuff. What was the other thing he did right after Star Wars? I'm trying to think. It was
What?
good.
What
I just
did he
can't
do
think what it
after
is off
Star
the top of my head.
I don't remember anything. Cliff, do you remember anything?
About what?
What John Boyega did after Star Wars? Any projects?
I unfortunately do not, because that was a real.
Well, he was in Pacific Rim.
Okay.
Was that after Star Wars or before Star
Mhm.
Wars?
Sure was.
Part 2.
Really? Part 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, that would have been lost in the to me in the midst of all that.
He was in The Woman King last year.
Again, a movie that had a lot of controversy behind it, and I
Don't
haven't-
disagree. I'm just saying he's been.
Yeah, but no, I'm gonna say a lot of people didn't see it.
They cloned Tyrone. He was in that too.
That I'm watching is wonderful. There we go. Catch it on Netflix, folks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
Add it to
All right.
your list after The Greatest Showman.
Shout out to John Boyega. All right. So it's about that time. Every week we go over the homework that's been assigned. And we are in 2024, the year of trilogies. And the current trilogy that we are going over, Back to the Future, Part 2. My favorite of the Back to the Futures. After visiting,
Can you say why this is your favorite? Well, before we go into detail, why of the three is this one your favorite?
I liked how it showed the future, and I like how they also went back to the past again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they were jumping all over the place to save freaking the universe, basically. You know what I
I'll give
mean?
you that, and I'll give you my counterpoint when we get to it. But so I just off the top,
All right.
I want to know why this was your favorite.
Roger that. After visiting 2015, Marty McFly must repeat his visit to 1955 to prevent the disastrous change to 1985 without interfering with his first trip. All right, let's go. What do you guys think?
Can we talk about the fact that when he goes to the future, that's supposed to be 9 years ago,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yep.
nothing in there happened?
We have smartwatches.
Okay.
We have
I
some-
do have
Okay,
smartwatches.
The
got
And
that.
we
Don't have
did get the
flying
self-lacing
cars.
shoe for a limited time, the Nike Mag.
No,
They came out.
They only made a limited amount. That was not wide released.
No,
were
but
like
it
$1
still
billion.
happened. It still happened.
Papa Willie says the toss-up 1 and 2 is my favorites of the 3.
Yeah, I know why 2 is my favorite, because I love time travel paradox. And when I first saw this movie and I thought this movie was going to cop out, it absolutely did not cop out. Doc Brown flipped the freaking board. It was like, I'm going to explain this for idiots with chalk. Let's
He sure
go.
did.
But then
He
it breaks
sure
that rule later.
What do you mean?
I mean-
how does he break the rule?
So they go, he flips the board and says, "This is a new timeline," right?
Yes.
So more or less, what they have to go do is become the time police and chop that timeline off, right? But then they change things in the past that apparently don't affect the future.
Well, that's
Which
because they
thing?
So
they purposely tried
there's
to
no
do
shit that
things.
You want to tell me that some random dude, the parents don't remember? I don't agree with that. We talked about that last time, right?
They knew him for a week, so I feel like
Again, I disagree, but I'm willing to look past it. There's zero chance you're going to convince me that Biff, who went through this whole thing to chase down the almanac, sports almanac, and hits a manure truck for the second time, doesn't remember any of this.
Good points there, green shirt guy.
Remembers none of this.
Cliff's gears
Doesn't
are
change
running.
anything
Look
going
at
forward.
him.
well, you
The
know
gears
what?
of Cliff are running.
You do make one good point because Dark Future Biff, because yes, I call it Dark Future, or Dark Timeline Biff.
Days of Future Biff.
Right, Dark Timeline Biff of all the Biffs should have a particular interest in Marty.
Right. Well,
You know?
and how many things? It would create another new timeline, which may be similar to the original one. I'll even give you that, but it's still going to be different.
Right, like I'm thinking about it now. Remember when they had that whole thing where he's getting the book from him at the end?
Yes.
How come the future Biff is still like, like nerdy Biff? He would remember like this kid on a hoverboard and then him going off in a car.
Right.
You know what I mean? Does
After
he still end up being a
trying
nerd?
to kill him?
Yeah, does he still end up being like his worker and stuff like that? I don't think that would happen in that
no,
way.
because we're supposed to believe that timeline resets itself because he's knocked out again, right? And he could just believe that was all a hallucination.
When was he knocked out?
Isn't he knocked out a second time?
No,
After
he
the
hits
father
the
knocks him
manure
out?
truck and he says, "Man, I hate manure," and then they're
Yeah.
gone.
The one that got knocked out was the one in the car.
Right,
That
but is
was,
that before or after the manure
The
situation?
one that his
well
father
before.
knocked out. That was after
Right,
that.
so but ultimately we're left with the one his father knocked out, and then the timeline goes back to that. Am I correct or am I
No.
Well,
The one
gets
that,
knocked-
the one that he knocked out, Chase finds him outside when first Marty number 1 goes back and comes running out of the hall and knocks Marty 2 knocks him out. That's when
Remember he
drags
calls him
off.
chicken again and they're about to fight again and the door comes up and smacks him in the face.
Right, and
knocks
that's
him
when
out.
he runs into Marty number 2 thinking it's Marty number
Yeah.
1.
Yeah. And he notices
Okay,
because he sees both Martys and he goes, What the
Right.
hell? What's going on here?
Right.
So yeah.
But again, aren't all of these things that take place before the moment in time where his dad knocks him out?
No.
No,
all
it's after.
that. It's all after that.
Because remember,
Because
remember when
because-
his dad knocks him out, he takes the book from him.
Yes.
So when he's
Yes.
over there and he has to save himself behind the stage, and he saves himself
Okay, but-
behind the stage, and then
But
that event happened
not
like that.
necessarily this movie, but the third movie. Come back to your point that he once again arrives in a present at the very end of movie 3. When he arrives in the present, it's a present similar to his own, but still modified from all of his adventures.
Okay.
Right,
Again, I haven't seen the third one in forever. So
Well, again, it's not too explicit in the third one, number one. And number 2, there's a deleted scene from Back to the Future 2 that once Marty has gotten the book away from Biff, future Biff vanishes from the timeline.
With Dark Future Biff.
No, original future, here, take the book Biff.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, I know
Right,
what you
and
mean.
when-
That would
Yeah,
make
that-
sense.
And when he
That makes
vanishes
sense.
from the timeline, a lot of those events get washed out. But again, it's a deleted scene, so I don't know if we can count it.
What's good, Black Crown Comics? Thank you for joining us tonight.
The other thing that I find interesting that's not story related, but Crispin Glover's not in this movie,
Yeah.
That was a huge
yes.
thing with that. It's
Yeah,
so
so-
big that it was drug through the courts for
Actually,
years.
yeah, I actually watched something on that recently. What happened was they went to make the second film. He
Right.
did not want to do the second film because he's like a theater actor.
Well,
He's
and
not
he
your
didn't-
regular. He's not your regular movie actor and
No.
stuff. And he was like, "Oh, I feel like one was enough for me." So what they did
Well,
was
That's not
what they
all
did.
of it.
Hold on. What they did was they got another actor that looked like him, and they put prosthetics on him. And when he watched the movie and he saw it, he said, "No, you're
Right.
trying to steal my likeness," and he ended up suing them.
And
For
winning.
that, he got
And winning,
and he got
much
a
so
lot of
that
money.
No studio can do it. It's like a big thing. now.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it was the fact that he was a theater actor. The other thing was he didn't feel that the message of these movies was he didn't like what they were saying. You're either a loser or you're a bully unless you have a lot of money. It's all about capital. He didn't like what it was saying.
Mhm.
Who had
That
a
was
lot of
the-
money
that
in
was
this
his other
movie,
reason-
though?
What's that?
The studio had a lot of money.
The studio, but I'm talking about the story of the movie. Just Biff,
Well,
Dark Future Biff was the
in
only
this
one.
one, Marty, when we first see older Marty, he's like, when they first get the future, he's like, I'm rich now, right? I made a lot of, but I'm rich though, a couple times.
Oh yeah. But he wants to get right
And-
there.
Biff's successful because he's rich, not because he's a good guy, but because he's rich.
You're right. You're very, very right. Aggressively says, quick sidebar. How does Marty know Doc?
We talked about this.
We
last
talked
time.
about it last week, right? There's a great
It's
prequel
never
series
said.
in there somewhere. What do you think? You think a prequel series will come eventually?
I think it would be interesting.
No.
I think
I
we
don't think
gotta
it will,
stop. I think we gotta stop beating a dead horse. I'm really, I mean, if
You
I-
don't think
I-
they'll come up with a prequel TV series about Doc and Marty going on some
I-
crazy
I-
adventures?
Yeah, it's
and it
called
will-
Rick and Morty.
It is Rick and Morty, but I'm saying you think they won't capitalize on that?
Rick and Morty is way more dark and existential than Back to the Future could ever be. So I don't know.
But those characters and
It's
that
great.
idea is based off of this. The writers even said that.
Okay.
But listen, at this point, I'd rather see a Back to the Future remake than I would.
Oh
than
no, I don't want to see a Back
No,
to the
no.
Future remake.
Oh, look
Probably
at
said
Papa.
Kristen
Papa's
Glover's
like,
a dick
no,
so much
don't
cash.
do this.
No, Papa Willie agrees. We do not want to see that.
I could see
No.
it was a visceral reaction.
I know
This
we
is
don't
one of
want to
those-
see it. Do we think it'll happen?
Yes.
I-
Not
Probably.
anytime soon.
Unfortunately, yes. I think.
I don't
Okay,
think
how
we'll
about
have
this?
to, though.
What if we got a Back to the Future present day sequel where people find Doc Brown, say they find something of Doc Brown's and they proceed from there?
I'm okay.
No, because that
it's
sounds
a
like
similar-
Ghostbusters.
If we do a,
Well, that's what I'm saying. No one's getting any younger in this scenario, guys. So I
I'm-
feel like it's
if
that's
you're
a
gonna
good
do
time.
a sequel, what they need to do is a soft reboot sequel, much the way the two new Jumanjis are, where they find the game, don't know what it is, and start playing it. And you
Find the
don't
car.
have to have anybody from the originals in it.
Remember, the car was destroyed.
well, that's the problem. The new Jumanjis do have people from the originals in it.
The second one does. The first
Yes.
one does not.
And
Yeah.
actually, and by the way, I thought the second one was done so beautifully. I couldn't believe it. I didn't think it's one of the few movies where where the sequel built off of the first one and was better, but it couldn't be this good had I not seen the first one, right?
Papa Willie says the only way it works is with Emmett's kids.
Oh, I like the idea with Emmett's kids.
It may have the train or something. You know, what I
They would
mean?
have the train, yes.
Yeah.
It would have
That's
to be
the only
loosely
way.
based on the cartoon series, of course.
I mean, if you do it now, you can have it. You can have Doc back. But
Yeah, he could at least partially be there.
That's the one of the things, my not complaints, one of the things I missed in this movie is I don't think it had enough of Christopher Lloyd, one, and there's not enough of the two of them interacting with each other.
No, they get broken apart quite a bit in this movie, which makes three all. It actually, now that I'm older, it makes three stronger because we get lots of time with them together in
Right.
three.
And they're great. Their chemistry on screen is great.
Yeah, no, and I gotta say, it's so much. There's a lot of things that come with age, right? You notice more things. Also, to own it digitally and just jump around and look at whatever I want almost instantaneously, right? It's like so different than watching these on VHS back in '92, right? when I had the collection.
One of the things I did notice, and speaking of that,
Take
this,
Prime is in the house. Yo,
is
my
that
hot
the,
take part 3 is the best one. They'll end up remaking BT Back to the Future. They just remade a Roadhouse for God's
They
sake.
did.
Oh, don't
my
do that. We
goodness.
already talked about the horrors of Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
And Roadhouse
Green
is about
Sugar.
UFC this time. I don't even. Oh my god.
Did you see the? Did you know? I mean, you guys probably gonna go duh. This time watching it, I noticed that the license plate on the DeLorean as they're leaving for the future, it's a barcode.
Yeah.
Never saw that before.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
And in this scene,
Go ahead.
Elijah Wood is one of the kids.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, he definitely is.
And one of Griff's minions is Jason Scott Lee, who was Bruce Lee in the Bruce Lee movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that yells, "You gotta have power!"
You don't have any power. That's yeah, you're right. Wow, he was great in that little 5 seconds.
Right.
Also,
this
this was one of the few movies of the time or ever that I can think of. Like Superman 1 and 2 were filmed simultaneously. Back to the Future 2 and 3 were filmed back to back.
Yeah, that's what I noticed.
So they didn't.
This one came out in 1989. It's 4 years after the original.
Yeah, because
Came
they
out in
were
like
a long
November
time.
And
of
you can
89.
notice it in Michael J. Fox looks much older at the beginning.
yes.
Yeah, but they did those shots very well. Redid them very well.
What's the other thing I noticed too?
Well, they had their makeup team for the 2 movies. You have to admit, for that time,
yes.
phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal, because they really made people look older, younger.
And
Marty
believably
plays
older.
5 characters in this movie. 5.
Yeah.
How about did you notice? So remember Biff's cronies from 1955. The one guy's wearing the 3D glass, the paper 3D glasses.
Yes.
In the dark future Biff,
Yes.
he's wearing sunglasses and one's red and one's blue.
Yes, I thought that was so cute.
I was like, oh, what a nice little touch. I just noticed that this time.
I thought this movie did like very well. Is it took like just like it almost wrote itself. It's like the formula for how to make a sequel where you really don't have like a direction quite yet. Is to take as much as you can from part 1 and
just
reuse it.
Yeah, and bounce into places where you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, all right, we had a cool skateboarding scene. Let's put that in the future with some hoverboards or something. So that movie did this very well.
Yes,
Well,
it did an amazing job.
And
And don't forget that the Cubs actually won the World Series in 2016, which was something the movie predicted wildly.
No, it wasn't 2016, but they did win the World Series. But it did predict a team in Miami.
Yeah, they did predict the Miami team.
The Cubs.
This scene right here, though. This scene right here, though. Why do you take her out of the car and leave her on the thing?
Well, I said that too.
Why don't you leave her in the car and take her wherever you're going?
Thank you. Because you have enough room, because you take the stuff that you told him to wear and throw in that seat anyway. And
Plus, Marty's not there. Well, and if she's knocked out, she's not going to notice anyway. We'll just leave her in the car. Well, you can't have the stuff at the house then. That's why you do it. But Marty was just going to put her over here. She'll be fine.
Oh, and Billy Zane is one of Biff's cronies too.
Yeah. What's his name? What's his name? No, it's not Mad Dog. It's what's Biff's name in the future? His grandson.
Griff.
That's what it is.
Which is wild because you don't see Biff's son.
Yeah, I thought about that. I was like, we don't see Biff's son. Maybe he's like a regular good person. This is that scene right here.
Right, this is the one I was talking about.
He's looking at Marty, and then the other one's gonna come by, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell? What's going on here?"
Right.
You know what's more interesting? What if Griff is the son of Biff's daughter? We just assumed he had a boy.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure.
The way they made this back in the days, like,
lots.
I don't know if people understand. Like, when you make films, the techniques that you have to use to get a visual, and to make it, you have to make it so it's flawless. Because the moment that the audience sees, you know what I mean, it's off, you're taken out of it. But the way they
that
do
did
it,
happen to me once or twice. Like the scene in the future. Where
but
they're
now,
standing-
like now in 2024, it probably did
correct.
that
No,
shit.
correct.
You know what I mean?
The scene where the police car goes flying by them when they're staying in the alley, you could tell
Yes.
that was fake.
Yeah. but
Whereas
back
the
then,
DeLorean looked pretty good while it was flying, even still.
because there's no.
Yo, I
green
thought
screen,
the way
none
they
of that stuff,
they identified Homegirl's body. I was like, oh, let's get her home. I was like, we kind of have that technology. Like,
Kind of a little bit, and it makes
The
sense because
fingerprint.
they just ran her fingerprints.
yeah, like no, it was really good. And it was
Yeah,
like,
but
oh,
you
this
know,
makes
they only
sense.
run the fingerprints at the precinct. They
Yeah.
don't have the
Right, but then-
technology
but
where
this
they
is in
can
the future. They don't need to
fingerprint
go to
you
the
at the
precinct.
car.
You don't need to go to the precinct anymore because you're tried within hours.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know what I mean.
Although it wasn't like quite accurate, I thought for like the technology wise, like they were like, you know, like sort of even like hoverboards. All right, they're not like the way they show them in the movie, but we've had that hoverboard era where everybody had them. They blew up.
Yeah, they were.
Like the hologram with like Jaws. It's not quite like that, but we've seen like the holograms at like Coachella and stuff of like Tupac and stuff.
Mm.
I did love too that he builds this casino in the middle of town, right? In the middle of Mad Max town. There's nothing else there. But yet you're still making money at this casino? Like, I don't explain that.
A dark era.
The luckiest man in the world.
Let's see what some of the photos they got here. While y'all can continue to talk. Look, see?
Yeah, it's very clear who that is not Crispin
Oh.
Glover.
Correct.
Yeah. Wow.
And what's really silly about that whole thing too, if you think about it, is many times in the history of movies and in movies where it's a trilogy, an actor has changed and nobody makes a big deal about it.
Mm-hmm.
You could have easily just used that guy and given him the same haircut and you're okay. Because George McFly is in that movie for what, 2 minutes? And he's upside down. So who's gonna care?
This is such a great movie.
I love this. I'm just saying this scene makes just is such a big part of the whole movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
The
I just love
simplicity
that
of it.
Who was the father when they drop Jennifer off? Or no, after they drop Jennifer off and he goes back to his own house and he goes in the window and it's the black family. That guy.
Yeah, I
thinks
forgot
he
who
was there,
acted.
too.
Is he? I don't
I
think so.
he is, but I can't place what I know him from.
Oh, like you mean outside of Back to the Future?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I said the
He's-
same
he's
thing
just
when I
like,
watched him.
I made a mistake. I'm in the wrong house. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, no, you
Sucker.
did. That's crazy, right?
Doesn't swing that baseball bat very well. He's like knocking everything off, but whatever.
Yeah, Biff's makeup is crazy. Like, it didn't even look like makeup. Was so cool about it.
I'm sorry. Again, he looked great, but Michael J. Fox, regular Marty, future old Marty, Marty's daughter, Marty's son. Like, I know, I feel like I'm missing one, but he played so many versions
But
of
himself,
him.
older.
Oh, don't we get a flashback of his ancestor too?
A picture, I think.
Yeah, so I was like, they had him ready for everything.
Yeah, he did a lot of work. Listen, this is one of the greatest trilogies. There's the other character. The mom.
I did love that with
older.
the phones. With
Yeah.
the phone call, and she picks up the visor. It's like, oh, it's for you, Dad. How about
I like
how about
that.
Flea is
Hello,
in this
McFly.
movie?
Huh?
How about Flea is in this movie?
Yes, that was a funny scene. He's like, come on, nothing's gonna happen. And as soon as it happens, McFly, you're fired.
I have intercepted that interface.
I was like, damn,
He's
that
trying to
happened
say,
that
that
quick.
was a sting. I was setting him up.
There's Griff. Leah Thompson.
I love her.
The past. Then that's her as older. Makeup's crazy.
By the way, Thomas F. Wilson, still working, still great. One of my favorite things he turned up in was Legends of Tomorrow, where he played.
Okay.
Yeah, where he plays Citizen Steele's dad and then ends up being a time traveler himself. And I'm like, oh,
You
like,
want to see
I thought that was well done for
a
him.
funny
anyway.
little 3 to 4 minute things is go on YouTube and look up Tom F. Wilson's song, because he sings this song. I must have done stand up at one point. He sings this song about all the questions that he gets asked all the time.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
It's
I
fun.
saw that. Was pretty good. So the ending of this movie, which leads us into the third one, which we'll cover next week, but they get the book from Biff, and then Doc gets caught in some kind of a tangle up with an electrical storm, and lightning strikes the DeLorean while he's in the air, and you just see like tracks.
Why exactly did he not just land again? I couldn't figure that out.
He was caught on something. There was something like one of the lines was caught on something of a tree, like the little flag thing that was connected to his thing. But he was just like caught. And then when he let go of that and he thought he was free, remember he was like, oh, I almost bought the farm right there. And that's when lightning struck him. Yeah.
That was
confusing.
That was confusing for me. Okay.
Which shocked me in the theater. I was like, oh wow, where'd he go? This movie's about to end. Where'd he go? And then
Papa said on the tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and then he's standing there, and it's so dope because he's just standing there. There's no rain, and then the rain starts falling.
Yeah.
And then the car pulls up. And he's like, "Are you Marty McFly?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No, they didn't." He's like, "Here's that envelope." He said, "We had a bet on whether you'd be here or not."
Well,
Yeah.
that's
It
a
was
great
paid
little
for
touch.
ages ago.
Yeah.
70 years ago.
Yes. And if you think about it, that's possible. You could do that.
And what
they
service
teased
did he
where it was
use?
what the 70 years.
Western
because-
Union.
Western
Yeah.
Union. Can you imagine? That was probably like the opening day of Western Union. And he's like, here, make sure this kid gets this in 70 years. And they're like, sir, that sounds absolutely crazy. He's like, I know, but it's what I'm paying you for.
Yeah.
Right.
And they kept it going. And then so he's like, oh, Doc's back in the Old West in 1885. So he runs back to the mall.
Yes.
Where original Doc is helping Marty
won.
get back to 1985. Marty won. And it's the same scene of Marty goes, but then he's all happy. Then all of a sudden Marty starts running into the scene. And I'm like, wow, that's so good. And then when he turns around, like,
I don't know how they did that shot.
I'm back from the future.
Because that looked
That
like
was
one
great.
shot to me. He's
Yeah.
dancing in the street and then he walks up.
Yeah.
That looked like one shot. So I still can't figure out where they spliced it. Because he comes running. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's because, again, they used previous footage and green screen and new footage to make it come together. It is
No, I get that. But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is often when you do something like that, there's a like a split second where like, hey, what's that over there? And then as you come back, so like you're not thinking that it's not all one shot. And that looked like all one shot. But they had to have cut
from what I recall of the making of that they used to play all the time, what back then, they layered, and the film editors were just rolling and scrolling back and forth to make sure that the
Gotta
frames
match
hit
this
each
perfectly.
other in the right spots.
Done
Right on.
beautifully. Excellently. And then it ends with to be concluded. And they show you a nice little trailer of the third one, which is your homework for next week, Council.
By the
Back
way,
to the Future 3.
again,
too is-
something.
Go ahead, Cliff.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just something that we did not see in films back then, right? Like that was, I think that was like a whole new experience. Like movie, this will be concluded. And by the way, here is a little preview for
It's
you.
like the trailer. Like
Yeah,
definitely
give you a
Marvel
whole trailer.
Studios picked up on that idea
Yes.
and
Yeah.
used it and ran with
Definitely.
it to sell
Well,
you
I-
on the next movie. They almost overused it because they sold you on the movie like 3 ahead.
Yes.
Yep.
Right. All right. Quick thing. Go ahead, Green Cigar. And
I
then
was
we're
gonna
going
say,
to
how about so Marty comes running around the corner, right? And just before that was the argument about, I'm not going to tell you what happens in the future.
Oh yeah, they never speak about
So
it.
he hasn't even opened the letter yet.
Yeah. But there's another thing. Well, it's the car accident, right? Remember, he was like, Marty, I don't want to tell you what happens. Remember? He's like, if I tell you this and that, but he never tells them what it is that happens.
Right. Well, and,
Yeah.
and the crux or the through line for Doc through the entire first movie is, you don't want to know about your future because you could affect it. But I'm
Yeah.
going to come back and get you in this movie so you can affect your future.
Yeah. I think it's
I'm
just a
okay with
thing
it
of
now.
him realizing what the hell. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
only
I
live
guess.
once. In Doc's
Well,
terms, you
right.
only live once.
Right, because honestly, that is the turn he takes for the third movie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy.
Speaking of which, that is your homework for next week, Council. Back to the Future 3. Yes.
Well, Papa is requesting that we make him big for a moment.
Go ahead. Oh,
There we
we got the
Nice.
PS4. The game.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Very nice. Done very well.
All right, we do gotta give our ratings on this movie.
Yeah. Go
Oh,
ahead.
right.
Start with Phil. Go.
All right, my favorite of the trilogy is actually like the first one. So, but this is like a solid 8. This is like a solid 8 movie for me. So, I'll go for
Okay.
8.
Cliff.
Still a good sequel.
All right, this is gonna be surprising for everybody, but this one's my 9. This one,
Whoa.
because this one captivated me, right? And it did not drop the ball for me, you know? Like where other time travel movies, it was just a lot of, well, let's just go with it, right? This was like, no, we're not just gonna go with it. We're gonna take little moments here and we're gonna discuss what's happening because we gotta try and fix it. And you know what? Maybe it didn't come out perfect, but I felt it was more broadly planned out than a lot of other movies, and I don't think anyone's quite done it well. But
Okay.
you know, again, it did. Oh, Papa gave it a 9 too. There
Papa
you go.
really gives it a 9. Gives it a 9. Green shirt guy.
So I never met you before, but you look like a slacker. I'm gonna give this a 7.5.
Really?
All
All right,
there's a
you're
bunch
gonna
of
be
moments
surprised.
with like I said, after he gives you that whole spiel about this is a new time, there's a bunch of moments after I'm like, well, that doesn't follow that rule. That doesn't follow that rule. I will give it merit on technical achievement, and like you said, there's some moments where you're like, oh, okay, we went back and got to revisit it from a different angle. I will give you that, but this is not my favorite one of the 3.
Well, I give this movie a 9.5. I love this movie. I thought from beginning to end, there's no stopping. It's paced beautifully. The way they make you like, okay, yeah, let's see how they interact with the other characters. They did it so well, and then had you hanging at the end, Empire Strikes Back style. And I was like, that's a great movie. That's a great movie right there. And I give it a 9.5. All right. So what did you guys think in the comments out there? Leave your grade in the comments and let us know what you thought about it. So that's our show for today. We want to thank Papa Wheelie for coming on. Thank you for joining us. Go check his YouTube channel, Papa Wheelie. Give a subscribe to it. We will be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific for New Keys and Hot Comics of the Week, where we're doing our end of the month giveaway. We're going to do 3 duck drawings tomorrow night to give everybody a chance to get a duck. And at the end of the night, we're going to pick the winner of the big prize. And then, and then you get the prize.
Tate gave it 7.5 and Las Cruces
Gives
gave
it
it
7.5. Las Cruces is 9.5. See, that's what I'm talking about. So remember, your homework for next week, Back to the Future 3. Make sure you watch it, and we'll be back next
Sunday.
film
Next
and
Sunday
box
night.
office news. Was the Super Bowl next Sunday?
No.
2 weeks.
No.
3 weeks. 3
Oh.
weeks.
What's going on next Sunday? Am I out of the loop?
Nothing next Sunday. There's no football
Okay.
or anything. And then the Sunday after that would be the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Kamaria. Thank you. Great show. Thank you very much. So, for myself, hold on, I'm trying to get ready here. For
we go.
Phil, for Cliff, for Papa Wheelie, and for Green Shirt Guy, we love you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes?